Hi, I'm Crosbie from Finch Chevrolet in London, Ontario, Canada, and you're watching Cars and Crosbie. I'm pumped. I got 5 Corvettes here. We're gonna talk about a lot today. Amplify Orange, 22 model, on its way out. Lots of stuff to talk about in terms of value and how we can reflect your style, language, and demeanor to the Corvette on a budget. I've also been a busy boy. I've been buying a lot of Corvettes. I got one that's almost a twin to what I had in the C7 generation, and 2 C8s are here. Stay tuned for an all Corvette episode coming your way. I'm really proud of this one, guys. This really shows you what I'm made of at the dealership here. I really pride myself in trying to match the demeanor of your lifestyle to the Corvette that you're trying to order with me. This is a perfect example of someone that wanted to emphasize style and didn't really have a lot of interest in the performance and was on a budget that I wanted to respect. On this specific model, I started off with the wheels. They were the base set, which are free. And you can get them powder coated like on this one over here, but there's that ring around it. And that ring, in my opinion, doesn't go anywhere with this Corvette. So I powder coat it for $700 Canadian. And you get that style for about $400 less. But as you can see, it's a lot more consistent with the theme. Now, on the topic of theme, I'm always choosing a secondary or sometimes even a tertiary color when I'm designing the Corvette. I want you to be able to go to a car show or show it off to your buddies and say, hey, you know, was that a package that you bought from the factory? Was this a design edition? Because it all makes sense. So I'm always going to be that guardian angel or that sober second thought to try to help you guys out in making sure that your whole Corvette has one consistent theme. With Amplify Orange being a brand new color and it having that nice pop, the color speaks for itself. It's very similar to Red Mist Metallic, where you don't need 2 lead singers on stage. This Amplify Orange is a pastel, and one nice thing to note about that, especially with the lighting right now, is you're gonna see that there's a lot of different features in lights, and in dark and in also bright conditions, it pops just the same, unlike a lot of metallic colors. Now, the secondary color on this is black, or to be more specific, carbon flash metallic. We've taken the ACS composites and we've done a full-length rocker panel on here in the carbon flash. We've got our side intakes and also a Z51 spoiler that I purchased and then painted in carbon flash metallic. From the factory, I also painted the mirrors to make sure that they would also fit with that theme, where everything that's accented on the vehicle pops in that color. On the front end of the Corvette, we've also done the ACS splitter, but I'll show you that after I show you the interior. On the interior, I'm trying to always bring the outside to the inside, and one really great way to accent it is by putting on an orange seatbelt. With this having a black 2LT interior, I really think that that is a really great way for you to be able to get the message across that you thought this through when you were designing your Corvette. A 2LT interior is something that I've always talked about as being a very important option to have on your Corvette, especially because all those creature comforts are going to make that experience all the better regardless of what you're trying to do with your vehicle. Now, on the front end, we have a splitter. That's the last thing that we did on here. I know we talked about doing a decal package, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it. If somebody is interested in trying to do it, I did find a couple of companies that are trying to do it, but one of the biggest problems right now is that 3M is in a major shortage of the vinyl wraps, and I couldn't get the carbon flash metallic, or as they call it, Galaxy Black, for 3M to be able to do it. So I apologize that I wasn't able to do that. A lot of people were chiming in that maybe it's the best thing to just let people drive it, and that's always a philosophy that I've chose to have, is to drive it, get to know it, and if you want to do it, we can do it at a later date. So with this Corvette, everything is almost done. It isn't cleaned yet, it's filthy, I apologize. I wanted to get it down to get tinted and have it brought back before I got it detailed. The delivery is tomorrow morning, so I wanted to film this stuff before I had to go on with getting the rest of the Corvette done, and I hope you guys can appreciate all the insight that I give you guys on how to give a good value and a nice style to fit your demeanor. Let's go on to the next few Corvettes that I have here. I've been a busy boy. I've been buying a lot of Corvettes over the last few days, and I want to show you what I've got. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of what I've been buying in this Corvette environment right now. There's a lot of people right now that are trying to unload their Corvettes for the winter, and I'm ready to go. If you're interested, you know somebody that has a Corvette that's wanting to get rid of it, I am interested, and I will give you a referral if it's not you that has a Corvette and you pass me on a lead on that. So this is a C8. I bought this one up in Ottawa. It is an Arctic white, and it's a 2LT non-Z51. On the inside here, you'll notice that we've got the nice red seat belts and a natural interior with suede inserts in a GT2 seat and a 2LT interior. So a decent option, and in a future episode, I am gonna talk about suede, as there is a bunch of it on the lot right now, and I wanna talk about that in general, as I've got a lot to share in terms of insight on what you can expect if this is an option that you're looking at putting on your vehicle. And then we got this one over here. Now I've got a little bit of a soft spot for this one because it reminds me an awful lot of what I had when I had a C7. This is a 2017 Stingray, and it's done in Watkins Glen Gray. I had Watkins Glen Gray, and it was the most popular gray color for the C7 generation. Now they have a gray interior on this, and I actually kind of like it because it reminds me a lot of what I did with my Escalade just now. You've got a machine face wheel on here that gives you that nice aluminum face. It's got chrome badging on it as well to go with that machine face. And then on the inside with that gray interior, it really does match. It's not something that I would have chose right off the bat, but now that I start looking at this more, I really like it. Now what you can also see in here is a manual transmission. That 7-speed makes this all the more fun and all that more attainable if you're looking at purchasing one of these, as only 23% of all C7s were built with a manual transmission. I'm very excited about this one in particular because I don't get a lot of manuals these days with the C8s being automatic. And last but definitely not least, we have this. A black 2021 hardtop convertible Z51. And it is one heck of a car. We're gonna unpack a lot on this one. There's a couple things that I want to point out as a heads up on what you should not do, and there's a lot of things that you should do. This is black, which is great. You know, a lot of people like it, and we've got one heck of an interior in here. We're gonna get to that. It's suede. We're gonna do a future episode on suede as well, just because I have these two here right now. And the secondary color on this is red. We've got nice calipers on here, but with it being a 3LT, having a color option to override interior, I think that they stopped a little short on the wheels here, especially because there's no aluminum face anywhere on the vehicle. So little suggestion, if anyone wants to buy this off of me and do an upgrade, I would say that the wheels are gonna be a good touch. Now, one thing that I've ranted on a number of times, and I'm not gonna go too long on it, but I got a prime example of it here, is this puppy here. This mirror cap is an exposed carbon fiber. It's a $1,400 Canadian option. And with this color being black, for free, you could have left these black and it would have done the part, especially because this has got competition seats. It's a 3LT. It's a very nice Z51. You've got all that racy kind of stylish look on the inside, and then you put exposed carbon fiber mirrors on it, and you stop short with putting the base wheels in black and no rocker panels and splitters. I'm not trying to beat up on it. It's a blank slate for someone that wants to buy it off of me. But my suggestion would be to either have left this black and leave the rest of it all base, or maybe we look at putting an exposed carbon fiber ground effects, so the 5VM package. That to me would be a really good way of being able to save this build, or working with the future owner of this car and making it so that it kind of fits the bill for the outside and the inside. Now, we've got some really great accents on the inside that I want to talk about as well. This thing has the competition seats, and it's done with the Adrenaline Red inserts on the side, so it's a two-tone, and then it's all suede with red stitching. An absolutely incredible interior. You really got a lot of things on this that stand out to even people that own exotic vehicles. This guy in particular owned an Aventador, he had Ferraris, and we're not just talking about like a California. He had F40s and F50s and 488s. He had a lot of cars, and he said himself, this is a great interior. One thing that I would suggest that we do, just to try to accentuate on that, is to maybe bring a little bit more of that red onto the back or on the outside. And there's a great one in particular that I can do that's cost effective, and it's available at any parts department, and that's the back script here. So on the back it says Corvette. It's done in black. You can't even really see it. So if you put it in red, it would pop a lot, like you see on this Amplify Orange Corvette, where you just get that amazing contrast and you brought a little of the outside onto the inside. So those are just some healthy suggestions and a little bit of a heads up on what, I've always tried to get across in terms of design language. I'm blessed to have any of these Corvettes here, and I'm excited to meet the future owner of any of these. So hopefully I get to see you soon. They're all available except for this one, which is going out, and that one, which over there, obviously I've been driving and that I own. So yeah, let's get to the wrap up part. We're gonna turn them all on, and we're gonna turn on the Symphony of sound for you guys to hear them all started up. I'm like a pig in the mud with all these Corvettes around me. I got 2 new C8s in on trade. This one's on its way out, and a C7 to remind me of the good old days. I've got this symphony of sound with all of them going on. Here's 2,500 horsepower going on all around me. I'm Morgan Crosbie from Finch Chevrolet in London, Ontario, Canada. Happy motoring.